September 26, 2025 at 6:02 a.m. We're in Queens Village on the main line, very busy line. Get the AM rush hour here. Just beginning to get light. Queens Village is at the eastern end of Queens County. We're just over the Nassau County border. Well, here comes train 1911 from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station. On the westbound side is the Queens Village Station, which was built in 1879. Well, here's 609 Port Jefferson to Long Island City at 6:07. And right behind him is 1609 from Huntington to Grand Central. One of the nice perks about this station are the position light signals at the east end of the platform. East of here at Elmont UBS, you've got position lights and reduced aspect signals. Well, the tracks numbered from left to right are 3124. And we got an approach medium on track 4 for an eastbound. Looking east, you can see the abandoned hulk of the old Queens Tower, no longer in use. And on the far end, you can see the lights of the Elmont UBS Arena Station, which is in Nassau County. I was thinking of actually parking my car there and taking the train here, but just to travel that short distance in peak hours would cost me $8.50. So I said, screw that. So I parked my car here. I don't know what's going on here, but there have been a ton of helicopters flying over here eastbound. That's about the fourth one I've seen. Are they heading to the Ryder Cup? You'll note the signal on track 4 is an approach. That's because train 713 is coming off the Hempstead branch en route from Hempstead to Penn Station. Once he clears park interlocking, he should get a better indication for train 1608, Grand Central to Huntington. Yeah, 713 actually has to clear Queens 3 before 1608 will get a better indication. There's another helicopter. What's going on, man? All right, 1608 has an approach medium, Grand Central to Huntington. And he's approaching the station. Yet I hear another helicopter. It's just a rapid-fire succession of helicopters. They may be corporate helicopters heading to the Ryder Cup, Bethpage Park. 617, here comes train 713. Hempstead, Penn Station. He'll stop and pick up passengers here. Comes 1998 eastbound. That train 1998 is a Ryder Cup special, headed to Farmingdale where he'll terminate. Big golf tournament at nearby Bethpage State Park. They'll be running a few specials to Farmingdale this morning for the Ryder Cup. You'll see a few. Approaching at 6:20 is train 1511 from Huntington to Penn Station. He's got M3s. We have approaches on tracks 4 and 2. Well, at 6:21, that was train 2011 from Ronkonkoma to Atlantic Terminal with M9s. Well, track 2 has a clear at Queens 1 signal. This will be for another Ryder Cup special, train 2008 from Grand Central to Farmingdale. Here he comes, loaded with Ryder Cup revelers. An eastbound M9 set on 4 at 6:25. The westbound was 10:17, Ronkonkoma to Penn. .32, his 1611 Huntington to Grand Central. .34, this is 611 from Port Jefferson to Long Island City. They still come. .38, here comes 1510 from Penn Station to Huntington. Gonna knock down the Queens 14E signal. Well, 6:43, that's another Ryder Cup special headed for Farmingdale. There's 10:19, Ronkonkoma to Penn. That Ryder Cup train was a passenger extra. We're looking north over Springfield Boulevard in downtown Queens Village. It's rather quiet now. The road crossing from right to left is Queens Boulevard, Route 25. Comes 717 Hempstead to Grand Central. He doesn't stop here. Approaching at 647 is 505. Oyster Bay to Penn Station, dual mode set. And right away we have a train for Penn Station. Approaching at 650 is 2015 from Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. Switching over from track 1 to 2. Here's 1912 Penn to Ronkonkoma, 651. Approaching at 654 is a real clunker. 2501 Ronkonkoma to Penn. Stops here. Should have 508 Jamaica to Oyster Bay coming. Here he is. So switching from 2 to 1 at 656 is train 35 Speonk to Long Island City. Have another train stopping here at Queens Village heading west. 719 Hempstead to Grand Central. Switch from 4 to 2 to 1 to 3 to make a stop here at Queens Village. Talk about a massive slither, a la North Philadelphia style for a Chestnut Hill West train. sun is emerging now. I'm gonna have to go to the opposite side. But we'll get one more shot over here at 2015 from Ronkonkoma to Grand Central is coming west at 7:02. Clear signals on tracks 4 and 2. For track 4 is 7:12, Grand Central to Hempstead. Track 2 is another one of those Ryder Cup extras, train 4906 out of Penn Station to Farmingdale. Here comes 613 from Port Jefferson to Penn Station at 7:07. Dual mode set. Should have 4906 for Farmingdale coming by shortly. And 712 blanked out the Ryder Cup extra. And 714 approaching westbound on track 2 is 507. Oyster Bay to Jamaica. Here comes 1610 Grand Central to Huntington, 715. There's little doubt what the #1 photo prop is here. Those beautiful position light signals. 1613, Huntington to Grand Central. .717, the helicopters keep coming. The trains do too. Here's 2128 from Atlantic Terminal to Farmingdale. .21, here's 2017, Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. And 725 as clouds have shrouded the sun. Got 1917 from Ronkonkoma to Penn Station approaching fast. Just past 721, stopped at Belrose from Hempstead to Atlantic Terminal. .727 approaching is train 37 en route from Spionk to Long Island City. Good old 423 on the rear end, but no horn here. 730 amidst roaring helicopters. Here's 721 Hempstead to Atlantic Terminal. It's about to be passed by 2017 from Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. 1617, not 2017. I knew it had a 17 in it. That's from Huntington to Grand Central, but approaching is train 2012, Grand Central to Ronkonkoma. Leading is probably the newest M9 on the railroad, number 9202. Speed limit is 80 through here. Even in spite of the crossover moves these trains have to make. They're all high-speed switches east of here. At least most of them are. 734. He just switched to track 2. Is 615. Port Jefferson to Hunters Point Avenue. Coming from behind at 739 is 1512, Penn Station to Huntington. Watch him knock down the signal here. Well, here comes 2699 from Hicksville to Grand Central. He'll be stopping here. Well, I know a guy who loves M7 Echoes. He overdoses on them. You're gonna get one here between 7546 and 7673. It's gonna make some guy down south very happy when he starts up. I bet his favorite song is Just an Echo, You. Well, 741, here comes 1919 from Ronkonkoma to Penn. Here comes 509 from Oyster Bay to Hunters Point Avenue. Shoving as one of the baddest horns on the railroad. Bad meaning rotten. 47, here comes another Ryder Cup Extra. 4908, Penn Station to Farmingdale. This is 2103, Ronkonkoma to Penn. 7:23 from Hempstead to Penn Station. And coming fast behind him is train 39, dual mode powertrain from Spionk to Penn Station. On that was DM30AC 518, which has a fantastic K5 LA horn, but no grade crossings here. Well, here comes 617 at 7:55 from Port Jefferson to Long Island City. Heading eastbound with a clear at 7:55 is 1914, Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. .58, that was 2019, Ronkonkoma to Grand Central. Well, approaching at 8:03 is a weird train, train 2601, with odd endpoints. Originates in Westbury, makes all stops to Atlantic Terminal, Brooklyn. A clunker if there ever was one. Fella, we got another echo here between M7 7808 and 7499. Hope you're getting your jollies for this. Hopefully we don't get blanked out by 608 en route from Jamaica to Port Jeff. He's coming fast. Activity. That was a Oyster Bay to Penn Station train, train 513, 7:25, Hempstead to Grand Central at 8:11. I've seen almost as many helicopters as I have trains here. Arriving at 8:12 is train 714 from Penn Station to Hempstead. He's picking up a lot of passengers here. I believe he's picking up a lot of staff that are headed for Garden City Hospital. Approaching westbound at 8:20 is 1921, Ronkonkoma to Penn Station. Got a clear signal on 2 for number 4 from Jamaica to Montauk. Behind this westbound, you'll have another Montauk, train 7, Montauk to Long Island City. At 8:22, that was number 7, Montauk to Long Island City, with the bedraggled 405 on the rear end. Well, approaching eastbound at 8:25 is a historic train. Years ago, ran from Jamaica to Montauk carrying mail and newspapers. Today, it's just a coach-only train, but still has number 4 and still runs Jamaica to Montauk. He's got a clear track on number 2. Got my least favorite engine horn on this. The 30 AC 416, thank you for not blowing that lousy horn. 2014 Grand Central to Ronkonkoma. Approaching at 8:32 is train 510 from Jamaica to Oyster Bay. And you hear me talk about the helicopter traffic? They're all heading out to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Park. They have 15 helipads there. Many are saying this is the largest event, sporting event in aviation history. Another copter. Rail buffs will like this place, but helicopter buffs will love this place today. They're expecting about 3,000 guests to fly the helicopters into the Ryder Cup. Caught me by surprise. That was 619 from Port Jefferson to Penn Station. That trailing 509 with the K5 LLA horn, I think needs to have a wheel replaced. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to have a barrage of M9s here. Here's 1514 from Penn Station to Huntington at 8:37. Blade Air Mobility is providing these services from Manhattan to the Ryder Cup at Bethpage Park in 15 minutes from Manhattan. I'm seeing fares for rates of $1,250 to $1,575. Well, these helicopters are distracting me. Man, they're still coming like mosquitoes at a picnic. That was 1031 from Ronkonkoma to Penn. Should have another M9, 1623, Huntington to Grand Central. He goes non-stop from Syosset to Jamaica. Well, next at 8:39 is 1623, Huntington Grand Central. These helicopters are flying from places like Manhattan, Teterboro, and Westchester to the Ryder Cup. Blade is the company that offers these helicopter rides from various points in the metro area to the event at the Ryder Cup. A one-way fare on this from Manhattan to the Ryder Cup, a measly $495. I wonder if there's a senior discount. Westbound 850 is 2021 from Ronkonkoma to Grand Central, passing the old Queens Tower. We'll stick around for two more westbound diesel trains. Here comes at 8:58 a.m. train 621, running a little late, and route from Port Jefferson to Hunters Point Avenue. 5:15 from Oyster Bay to Long Island City should be not too far behind them. Here comes 5:15 from Oyster Bay to Long Island City. Good old 411 on the back. No horn, unfortunately. Coming fast east on 2 is 1916. Penn Station to Ronkonkoma. He's got a clear signal. Hope you enjoyed this AM rush hour loaded with trains and choppers.